Okay, I'll try to advance along here. I've just been playing with this program and doing a few things here, little bits here and there. And you may be able to tell by the name of this project, which has nothing in it, what I would like to do next. But before that, let's just have a look at what we've got. This is the extra column I want. Just this is the order in which they've originally occurred. And so that means if I go and sort this way, right, and I want to get back to this, what we had at the beginning, I can always go and click on this one. I can do the sorting by name or whatever. Now, I don't remember, and I'm too lazy to go look at the old video. But I think an entry got added there for this guy, FTP Voyager. Where is it? It'll be a program file. Where is FTP here? Now we're on 6. Now this here, I'm just stating that it's a fact that this here is the maximum index 0 base that you can use to access one of these numbers. That's all. I mean, there might be more meaning to it than that, but that happens to be one thing that's true about it. Everything beyond that index will be BF8s, and everything on the other side will be not BF8s. It might be zeros. Look at it this way. Here the max index is -1, so that means nothing, right? Here there's one entry in the array and no more, right? Max index 0 and 1. There are 2 entries, sometimes with data, and 2. It's exactly matching this number. So this number is not a mystery at all. It could be used to walk through this array. Now the maximum number of elements in this array, the maximum there can be, I believe, is what this number is about. So this is like max extent, and this is like, I don't know why I said days running, but I don't think that's what it is. I don't think it's going to go beyond 10, but it might. This is just the maximum number of elements that can be in the array. Maybe it does seem like a waste to use all those bytes for that, but it puts an upper limit on how far back this history. I assume this is a history of some sort. How far back it can go. Now, one thing I thought I had figured out this number, but this is, well, it's not clear with that. Alright, now every time I see a number in here, there's a number in this count field. See? And when I get 0, there's nothing, but there are these exceptions. See? So I don't know what's going on with that, but generally speaking, when these are 0, these are 0, regardless of whether it saw an execution. But occasionally, exceptions. See? But my theory was that according to those experiments, and really what I should do is just delete this and start from scratch and then just save a copy every time I run the program. But anyway, you remember that there was one, just command com, and we have 2 and 82 can't be. Yeah, no, I have no clue about what this number is at the moment. Let's see if there's anything else that goes in common with it. Certainly the bigger ones, these seem to be similar size, right? Except this is not. The rest of them are in proportion almost. Well, that's about it. Now this has, both of these numbers are quite big, and this is quite big, but it's not nearly as big as this one. Although this has got 364 here. This has 148 and it has more of this count. That's Chrome. Well, Chrome runs longer. It would seem like this has to do with running, time running. And that's about true. I usually have the compiler going, and I usually have Chrome. Almost always Chrome is on. Very rarely it's turned off. I should really print this out as just bite the bullet and assume this is milliseconds and write this out as a time and see if the times make any sense. This is less than a second, makes sense. I just used that today. See, now what I want to find out is when this goes to 7, does this change? We'll go to 0 and then something going here? Or does it just accumulate? This here might be the sum of bits of these. Maybe the lower word added up would give you that number. I doubt it. That's 2 megs, which would be like, 7 FFF. And there's 6 of them. Not sure. I don't know. What I was thinking was that because this number went up when I started and stopped the program, but only this number went up, that this might indicate some kind of a start and a stop of something was observed, which would account for this big number. It sees lots of something starting and then something stopping. For this program, that's happening all the time. For Chrome, wouldn't be that high. These auto-generated things, by the way, apparently often have to do with pinning. Like when you pin something to the task, to this thing, or to the start menu, I think. And strangely, these ones actually have a first exec date. 18. This is way, what month is it now? It's 4. This goes way back. So I'm not sure. Actually, all of these are from a long time ago. Further ago than when I've got to clear this thing out. So there's no question. Just save that. I think I did. I'm not gonna save it. I'm not gonna run this program. Well, okay, I don't need to do this now then. What I want to do is get this into a frame window because I want to have the option to do open and save, and I don't want to deal with adding a bunch of buttons for every possible action. Now the code should transfer over pretty easily. It says wm create. We don't have a resource thing. We would use the create call, and what I should do is double check what styles there are in this thing. No, I think all of these. Okay, there's report and align left. Just take a print screen. See, I guess where we're going. Styles. All this is normal. No, anything here. Oh yeah. Take this one. Can I get them all? Yeah. Because I'm going to have to specify this style and create call. Anything else I need from here? I guess not. Okay, so we're good for the styles. And I'll be able to choose a font better. Something's messed up with the font. Check these in anyway. I already renamed it, right? But now I've decided I don't want to have it as a dialogue. I want to frame. Well, there's nothing in this file that has anything to do with anything. So that I can just copy straight over. And then I'm going to rename this to, in the end, I want the name to be something like this. Okay, that file's done. On this. Some global things. Everything here is fine. I use a bit mask to keep track of the sorting sign for each column, but I don't think I need to. Because it doesn't matter. Once you sort from it with another column, there's no, the meaning of the last sort of another different column is irrelevant. Right? It would have been messed up by another sort. It hasn't retained anything, so this is really pointless. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Globals is fine. Misc util. I don't even need this. And this was my buffer tracer thing to try and get the alignment of the buffer. Okay. Count one. This should be fine. There's nothing even about a dialog in here. All this stuff is setting up filling in a list control. So that file is fine too. Okay. We don't need that. Now, these things will still go in my other header. This will probably be very similar. This won't be like that. That'll be different. Okay, well, this would be WindProg. So in this program's main header file, the class, and that's its WindProg, similar to this. All this would still be true. Okay, not that. So like that for now. This won't be true. We have to initialize a frame window. How do we initialize one? Atom. So our constructor will take an atom. And our constructor goes down here. Okay, same. So that file's done. Header file. Oh, that was the header file. Implementation file. So this would be sort of our WindProg. That's the mask, the header file. We won't really need that, I think. There's not going to be any control. You just do it like I do with Notepad. I'll fill the entire client area with the list control thing. So, actually, I probably don't need to do this either, or that. maybe this part. And as far as the return values, that's my info again. Here, info. Something like that. That's not true or false. You have to set handler now. But this setting it to false. Normally I set it to true. And then the last else I set it to false. And the return. 0 is usually the correct return. Okay. We need this. We have this part. Menu. Alright, now what about this header? That would be the analog of this file. And do we need any of these? We might need this globals, which doesn't exist yet. It's over there. That, no. Show folders. What's that? Oh, that. Right. That should really be automatic, I think. That's the, opening system path and whatnot. Okay. Count one is here. Global. Nothing else, right? I've taken all this. Well, we need this function, which was in, which I guess is served here. The class name is, what's the class called? This. Something like that. I don't expect this to compile right away. Okay, that we don't need anyway. Look at this. Nothing in there. We've taken this bit and that. We took this part and that, and we don't need this one. Don't need this. This is just similar decrypt or decrypt. right? That's the same. And I have it doesn't. It's not namespace. So this is I have the new class name. Ah. Oh no. Oh. Fair enough. One? No. Really, if I'm going, it would probably be best to have another class that just does this list view thing. But whatever. Okay, I think I have enough for a start. I'm going to start working on trying to make this compile. Okay. Hello there again. Welcome back. I should say, maybe a day or two elapsed since the last section of this video, and now it turns out an old friend of mine has come to visit me all the way from, well, not too far away, but China. And he's a Canadian guy, though, working in China. And so I'll probably be busy hanging out with him in the next few days. But in the meantime, I did manage to make this transformation. And here now is our program as in the FrameWindow style. It still allows for resizing and whatnot. I did it similar to the edit box, where the control takes up the entire area of the entire client area. So this here, all this stuff is filling up all of the client area, and here's the menu, which doesn't do anything right now. UA view, I renamed it to. And I have callbacks for all of these things if I want to take advantage of them. One thing I want to be able to do is save either to file, or I could just save the registry key back into the registry underneath a key, underneath the key associated with this program. That would simplify things. You know, the loading code would be the same. You'll notice that the sorting works, does its thing. One thing I noticed about the sorting is that by default, if you sort, the selection remains where it was. So what I wanted to do was have it go to the top, because for one thing, I thought there was a bug in this one. So I would sort and sort, and it would still all be zeros because I wasn't at the top. But if I move it to the top, I can see that it is working. It's just that it's mostly zeros. This here is the, I think I mentioned the extra. Oh, now see, I made a mistake. It was supposed to have done this and remove the other selection, you see. then I guess that sometimes it doesn't work properly. And there shouldn't be this bar here. That's some kind of leftover. From the way I don't completely understand the list view control interface. I've just been adding these functions, but I'm not making them up. They just declared but not implemented. There's something called selection mark, and then there's set item state, which you can use to set the selected or not selected state of an item. That's what I've been using in the window prop. Sort the items, then no. Oh, I don't need to do this twice. I do take the whatever the selection mark, I believe it means. If it's multi-selection, you would notice, or you wouldn't have known until I showed you. I'm going to show you now. This thing is multi-selection, so I assume that selection mark is probably the first element in the list of selected items, in which case there should only be one in my case, but there could be more, and that's probably what happened. I probably had more than one selected, more than two selected. You can, if you want, select a bunch of things, right? I'm not sure if I want that feature or not. I can remove that feature. Now, if I do a sort, I want to do I don't know, but I want to unselect all these and select just the top. Let's see, it hasn't done that. It's sorted it, and it's made sure that this one is visible. And all I've done is set the item state of the selection mark to not selected. What I'd have to do is get all of the selected items. What I can do instead is take off the multi-select. Where is that? And put it on later. It's got to be one of these styles. No, it would have to be in this area. Okay. Multi-work areas, maybe? I don't know what a work area is. Oh. What's this? Double buffer, single row. Maybe this. I can check the height, the help. Wait, simple select. Try that. I want the full row. And for now, let's keep it as no multi-selection. So that might be what that is. Try the help file. Snap to grid. All I gotta do, really, moves the state image. Oh. Oh no, it's nothing to do with that. Okay. grid lines, full row select. Multi. Auto arrange, no. So it's the only multi. Checkboxes. Where is the, overview? Wait, maybe I have image, not image list. List view controls. Anybody sees it, you can just call out. Get selected count. Right. So I was right about this. Now where am I? If there's a get selected count, certainly there's a set selected count. I know I've seen it. It was in one of those pictures, I think. Single. No, style. Single, what's this? TCS, I'm in the wrong control. Single cell, there we go. That's LVS is list view style. And so for me, that would go, I create the thing, the window prompt. Now there's probably a function set single cell. Oh, and I don't want this thing. Anyway, that's just fiddling and trying to get a grip on just the dynamics of this object. Now this set item state takes a mask and a value. This is a single bit. This is the same bit. That would just turn the selected bit on, leaving everything else the same. To unselect something, this is the item, and this is what you want to set. No, the mask is that, so that should be fine. So I can't, okay, I'm holding the control key down, won't do it. So now this is sort of what I wanted. Those what I want is the first time I click on a row, it should select it in the original way. I mean, it should arrange it. No, it should go upside down. That's right. The normal behavior of one of these things is, I think, as it is now, I haven't sorted anything, right? So clicking here should sort it in reverse order, right? Clicking it again should sort it right back and forth. Now, if I click on this one, it should sort in the way actually that it looks like it is now. It's not. I'm not flipping it. This is the first time I ever clicked on this one, so that's correct. That's what you would expect. And again, now if I select this one, it should go back to the original sorting, not flipped, which it does. So I think I got that correct. Anyway, that's not so important. It's just something that I want it to behave normally. This here max index, you'll see, if I mentioned before, we're up to 6, and it is clear that this here is the maximum valid index to use in this array of history. And unfortunately, so 5 is the maximum index. Unfortunately, I don't have a history of these things. And so that's why I want to change to this view. And I think I'll just automatically, as soon as you open it up for any snapshot, I'll save that snapshot. Let's say it's in the registry, and give that a date, and that can be written up here. Date and time snapshot taken, and then like the recent files list here could just be the previous snapshots taken automatically, and I could do like in Notepad Q, allow you to look at all of them. Oh dear. Yeah, got to fix that. This is supposed to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, how did it end up like this anyway? You can open these things, just double clicking on them or clicking the open. The open is supposed to be in the middle here. I can open that thing. Happens to be read only. So actually I should fix that. One of the cool things I did with this notepad thing, by the way, is let's say here is a file I've opened, right? Now if I suppose now in this other instance I go to open that same file, which will be in the first entry in the recent files. This is read only, so I can't modify this thing. The reason is that it's currently locked by this instance of the program. I could open another file, something that might exist. Okay, run another notepad, and this one will be read-only because it's open in that notepad. Or if I went to here with this one, that's read-only, and these things are all sort of communicating with each other. The first person to open something can edit it if it's not read-only to begin with, right? But another instance. It's funny because all these programs are sharing this menu, right? So it's a little bit complicated. Now this is, I can now edit this one, but I would have to reopen it. And I've already got it open. I'd have to go somewhere else. Now I can edit it. But it's good in that because I kept having these problems with forgetting I had something open and then trying to save it and getting an error. So I'd get it. The thing that would protect me would be an error message, right? But now I can see immediately when I open something that I can't, it's open somewhere else. Arrows, it's open, so I can't, well actually it's open 3 times. It's here. So these 2 files are open, this one's open, and you can open either of those files and read them, but can't write to them. On the other hand, if it's a big, it is a read-only, it shouldn't really do this other thing. But I can fix it. Where's that great big file? Here? If I cancel, it's read-only because for a different reason, because I canceled it. Now other programs should really be able to open and edit that thing, but they won't be able to. I use the same logic for all files. Once it's open, it's locked. I could close the file, I guess, in this scenario. Read the data and then close the file, but then it won't, it won't read this. It won't show what it is. So here, I read it in, but I still can't edit it, and it shouldn't do that. But that's okay. It's not too bad. It's better than what you get with most programs. Alright, so anyway, that's a quick update, and the next update will probably be a bit later. As you can see, it wasn't that painful to make this transition from one type of program to another. And the reason for the delays is just my laziness and that I got a friend visiting. So hopefully I'll be able to get something in the next couple days. If not, you'll know where I am. See you.